Bungie's Marathon has released for the server slam weekend, and I played it for about an hour and a half to 2 hours on stream, and it was pretty bland, pretty boring, and honestly reaffirmed all the concerns I had going into it. To which I say, I understand why they're charging money for this game. So many complicated menus, explanations, overwhelming features, descriptions. And at the end of the day, while you're playing it, you're just like, I don't even know what the point of what I'm doing is and why I'm doing it and what this accomplishes and where it gets me to and why I should even care. And that is only second to the biggest fault of this game is it feels like it forgot to be fun, which is the most grave error any game could ever make. I said on X, my honest experience of Marathon, about 2 hours in, overcomplicated interface, overwhelming inventory items, confusing purpose. The biggest fault, though, it's just not fun, at least not yet. I genuinely went in with no bias. I found myself just wanting to play other games while I was in the midst of the experience. It will most likely fail. Here I am playing it. Give it a shot. Here we go. Which, oh, by the way, this is me fast forwarding to the part where there's actually action. There was about a 10-minute period before this where it was just walking around. I'm like, I don't even know if that's a person or a robot shooting bullets at it. I don't know what it is, but I was trying my best with it. This was the experience over and over again. My concern with it was when I was picking items up, I had no idea what the items did. There was very little explanation. The menus were super complicated. I didn't know where to put things, how to utilize them, what they were supposed to do, how to get more bullets. And yes, I'm sure in time, if you dedicate hours upon hours, maybe days upon days into this game, you will figure out all of those things and the mechanics of it. I understand that. But my bigger concern with it is in this modern era of playing games, how many people are going to sit through trying to figure out overcomplicated menus for a game that's just at the end of the day, a basic extraction shooter that I'm not really sure why I should care about it. I am already sure, by the way, there's going to be a diehard fan base of people like there is with every single game that is just like, oh, you just don't get it, bro. It's like the best game ever. And I'm like, I'm sure, but I've played a lot of games in my day. This game struck me as something that was just too. Here's the menu system, by the way. So you pick up an item and it drops it into your inventory and you click on Cascadian Electronics. Automatically sold for credits upon exfiltration. Okay, so that one does nothing. But what does this item do? What does it? Some of these are bullets. Some of these are key cards. Some of these are grenades. Some of these are like armor. Like what? How do I equip them? What do I do every single time? And I'm telling you, this is like 2 hours into the game, and I had a very, very basic prehistoric premise of how to understand what I was even doing with this, and I was really trying. And that's when you get into the game. It took probably 15 minutes of booting the game up, getting set up and started just to get into a game. And the game was just a tutorial that if you didn't complete, you would have to restart over from scratch or you could skip it. And I'm like, what is the point? Why should I care? This is why I think Bungie decided ultimately to charge money for this game, because they wanted people to be pot committed to playing it once they bought the game. Because if this was a free-to-play game, I would have been like, yep, another high guard on our hands. We play it. Yeah, I get what it is. I don't care. Moving on. But people that pay money for it are maybe at least more inclined to be like, I get what it is. There's a lot of complicated menus. I'm pot committed with the money I spent on this. I'm going to learn how to play this game. There is a very, very steep learning curve. It's not just a pick up and play for the first time and understanding it. And this is coming from someone who loves first-person shooter games. And I'm playing this and I'm just like, holy fuck, bro. there's a lot to take in with this. I could only imagine somebody who is not accustomed to FPS games, or somebody that is not used to this style, picking this up for the first time with zero explanation and not having any understanding of what they're even doing. I look at this and I'm just like, you know what this is? It's similar to what happened with Wildlight Studios High Guard, where the studio was filled with so many yes men, toxic positivity, slay bro, it's amazing. Nobody was there to actually check them and be like the Nintendo, the Miyamoto, like, is it fun? Nobody was there to say that. It was, everyone's like, oh yeah, keep adding this, keep doing this, add more things, make these things do this, make all the bells and whistles in the world. I'm like, bro, what even is the game? What is all this stuff? Why should I care? You forgot the most obvious point of all of it is it fun? At least with like Bungie's original Halo back in the day, you knew there was a reason why you were proceeding through the game. You understood the storyline, the arc, and everything that was going on with it. This game is just kind of like, here's your game, bro. Play it. They forgot the most obvious thing, which it blows my mind. And we already see people taking victory laps online, because this was earlier today. Let me refresh. It's still at over 100,000 concurrent players, which is well past whatever High Guard did. And its top peak High Guard was 97,000. So 100,000+ players on the Server Slam weekend is nothing to sneeze at, especially when it peaked at 143. And earlier today, when this started happening, I already saw on social media, people were like, oh my God, all the chuds were wrong. This game's going to blow doors. It's going to do so well. It's not a failure. It's not DOA. And I was just like, damn, okay, I'm surprised, because I didn't think it was going to go this hard, this fast. But at the same time, keep in mind, this is the free to play weekend. It's not the buy the game and play weekend. So once the game launches, I can guarantee you, I am not going to buy this game. But I am one of those people that was one of the 100,000+ people that was concurrently playing it. I just wanted to see if I was missing out on something. I wanted to make sure that when I critiqued the experience of it, that I understood what the game even was and why people didn't like it. I understand fully now. So when this game does launch and fall completely flat on its face, I'll be like, yep, I could have told you that. If you would just hire people that understood that you need to prioritize the fun of the experience before putting all the bells and whistles of everything on it, you might actually find that people will want to be a part of that experience. The main takeaway that I had from playing Marathon today was not that there was something more to be offered to me while I was playing it. It felt like the only reason this game exists is to try to be able to make money off of me. And that's not saying, oh, there's a shop and DLCs and future con. I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, I feel like they went into making this game to make money. And I get that that's what companies do, but that shouldn't be what you feel when you're playing a game. It should be a natural, organic experience of, I like this game. I want to participate in this ecosystem. I didn't get that with this. It just felt forced. And on top of that, we have a couple developing situations that I wanted to cover. Kyle says, Bungie lied about plagiarism too. So what's to stop them from continuing to lie to players in an age where the cameras are always rolling? Smart, Marathon. And this is quote tweeting Pirate Nation, who said, some streamers claimed Marathon is censoring arc raiders in the chat. Official developers quickly denied it with a screenshot. And people were like, yeah, you can deny it all you want, but people ran through the chat with the information. Fortnite, fine. Escape from Tarkov, fine. Arc raiders, pound sign, pound sign, pound sign. Curious. Tebow, I knew y'all were soft and shit, but are you kidding me with this? Actually censoring the name Arc Raiders and Marathon? Yay. Now they're claiming, by the way, that this was just a pre-alpha build, that it was a bug that they patched as soon as it came out. Why was this even a thing in the first place? Were they really that afraid of arc raiders where they didn't want people talking about it? Very curious. Jake Lucky, arc raiders is censored in Marathon's chat in game.
Okay, open your text chat with enter and type arc raiders. What? No.
Halo's not, of course. Apex Legend is not. So everyone's tested it and finding out that this was a thing that they did. Arc Raiders PvP. For the love of God, can you guys release games that look like you work on it? Summit experienced a bug on Marathon where you need a controller to navigate the menu. There is no mouse cursor. Oh, and by the way, while I was playing it, I was playing with controller, and navigating the menus with a controller was a complete clusterfuck. Like it was an afterthought.
Guys, please, for the love of God, can you guys release games that look like you actually work on it?
It's really stupid.
Can you release a game that it looks like you even go through the main menu to play it?
Right?
There's no way.
The menus in this game are so bad. I don't know, because I used to, for those that don't know, I used to QA for Sony Online Entertainment. So one of the things when you are quality assurance, they ask you like, how's the functionality of this? How's the user experience? Is it smooth? This is one of those, I would have filled out a 10-page report being like, what the fuck is this menu system? Just to get into the game. Who are the people that you hired to say that this is normal and okay and understandable? This is a shit show. Nintendo would be puking their lunch out at the menu systems trying to get into the game. This is forgetting about the fun. It's too much menu activity before you get into it. This is the biggest thing. Before you care. You need to draw someone in and make them care about it. Because you could argue like a game like, I don't know, a game I'm currently playing right now, Final Fantasy Tactics, where half the game is in the menus. But because you're playing the game and you're so enveloped with it, you understand that's a dynamic, important part of the experience to be like, okay, the menus are so vital to make sure my characters are fine-tuned for each battle and each experience. That's part of the game experience. With this game, it's just like, going through the menus of, I don't know what these items do. I don't know what this is. What are these things? Who are these people? Why should I care? And then you get in and get shot and die, and it's just over, and you just wait for 20 minutes for the match to end. I don't know how this even became a thing without somebody checking them. This is from PC Gamer. Marathon briefly censors arc raiders in chat, just like Activision and EA did. And it was probably another accident because it was quickly and quietly fixed. Bungie still hasn't acknowledged that it happened, though, which is a little strange. And again, I'm not going to go through this whole article, but it was a big story today with arc raiders being censored and removed. And it's going to make you wonder, like, is Bungie and Sony by extension so worried about the competition that they're actively trying to silence it, subdue them, make it feel like they don't exist? Because if you're in chat and people are like, bro, this game sucks, I'm going to go back and play Arc Raiders, or Arc Raiders is so much better than this game, or anything similar to that, that would be devastating for this experience. Absolutely devastating. So I would argue that maybe it was intentional before it started getting out there and people are like, this is crazy. And once word hit Bungie that people found out about it, Bungie had to do immediate damage control to patch and update and be like, shit, no, we're not blocking arc raiders. You can talk how you want freely here. It was just weird. The whole situation is so weird. You walk around, you pick up stuff, you open these things, you pick up more stuff. I have no idea. I got my hardcore ESP face going on here where I'm just like super serious, but I'm like trying to understand like what everything is. There's a bunch of the HUD experience is a mess. The colors will make you puke rainbows. Everything about this, I'm just like, this ain't it. If people enjoy it, have at it. I'm happy that you're happy. But if you're picking up a video game and you have to proactively go out of your way to understand why you should be enjoying it, I would argue that that is a fatal flaw for the experience. Maybe you could get away with this type of environment 30 years ago when there were limited other experiences out there and you only got one game a year and you had to figure it out. That doesn't work anymore. So maybe there is a game deep down hidden in this. I don't care to figure it out, though. I really don't. There's so many other games that are interesting on the surface that additionally are incredible games beyond the interesting on the surface. The biggest fatal flaw with this game is it doesn't have any kind of interesting on the surface. It's just here you go, play it, walk around. By the way, while I've been talking, you see me just walking around. 0 encounters this entire time. This is the game. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why do I care? There are points to get to, points of interest and things like that. But it's just, I'd rather be playing another game instead of this, which is a feeling as a developer you should never have a player feel. That's one of those, we need to fix this. This is an issue. Walking up to a ladder, by the way, and having to press X to climb the ladder in 2026, bro, really? It was brutal. That was my biggest takeaway, is I just didn't find any fun while I was trying. I was trying so hard to be like, okay, I actually enjoyed this, because I wanted to be able to call myself out and be like, hey, you know what? I know I was critical about this game going into it, but when I played it, there was something interesting, and I do want to come back to this, and I will be buying this game. I played this. I'm not even going back to it again the rest of this weekend. I'd rather play Final Fantasy Tactics more. This is just not it. I'd rather go back and play the original Halo than this. This is not it. Yeah, exactly. Aimless, wandering fun. Sammy says, Endemian's biggest problem with Marathon is a lack of purpose. That's what I'm saying. I didn't understand why I should care. What they just kind of throw you into it and be like, play. It's like, why? What am I doing? Why should I care? What? They forgot that aspect of it. And it's like, that's the main point. I don't understand it. But yeah, that's Marathon. Again, if you enjoy it, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you found a game that you enjoy. But pulling the lens back at the situation, this is a free-to-play weekend. We are at just over 100,000 concurrent players on a free-to-play game. If you don't remember, that was, just a couple weeks ago, Highguard free-to-play was right around 100,000 people as well. And we saw how Highguard did when a Highguard had people play it and then walk away from it. This is Marathon right now on a free-to-play weekend, on a game that's going to cost money. My best guess going into this was going to be a top concurrent player count of 77,777. That's what I went with. After playing it, I am confident when this game launches at full retail price, it will not surpass 77,000. It will not. It will probably struggle to get to 10,000. I think that this weekend is devastating for it, because people are realizing, like, yeah, no, this is another game that I don't want to play. I'm very curious to see. And again, I'll be the first one to be like, I was wrong about this. So far, I'm not, though. And I wanted to play it to make sure that I'm not. This is suffering from the same Highguard where people are like, oh my God, you were wrong. Look how good it's doing. It's free to play, guys. Remember, when it goes to actually cost money, talk to me then. We'll see how it's doing. But at this point, Marathon, I am confident to say it will be DOA. We'll see. But for now, I'll leave that there. You know for a fact they are celebrating on Twitter. Oh, I know. I'm sure. They think this is... They right now, at Bungie offices, they're probably popping champagne bottles. The same thing that Wildlight did on the first day that it launched. They're like, shit, we did it, bro. People cared for a second.